Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. So today I've got quite a special video for you because I am going to be showing you all my new bike. This is a Crewkerz Jealousy 26-inch trials bike in long, which I picked up secondhand from someone. Now, I was trying to see if I could make this seem like this is the first ride that I've had on this bike, but the absolute reality is there's about 5 videos I've already filmed on this bike, but they were all in different amazing places whilst I was away on the road and stuff, and I wanted the locations to be the sort of stars of those particular videos rather than the bike. So now I've got some time, I'm actually finally back in Falmouth, so this is not the first time that I have ridden this bike. This isn't even chronologically, this is not, I'm filming this halfway through. I've already been out riding for a couple of hours. I just had to find somewhere on an industrial estate where I didn't mind actually talking out loud to the camera, doing this bit to it. So it's all really jumped around, but basically this is my kind of first impressions. And these are the same first impressions that I had the first time I rode the bike of what I thought of it, how it rolls around, how it rides, how the components all work together, the geometry of it and everything, and comparing it essentially to my previous bike, which is the Clean K1, which I still have. The Clean is up for sale, but I'm only really willing to sell it if someone pays me what I want for it, and that is because I kind of don't want to let it go. They're two amazing bikes. I really do like both of them, and I've had so much fun riding this bike already. So I am going to skip back now to a couple of weeks ago when I first tried to make this video, where I was riding down at Princess Pavilions, and then I went up to some rocks at Pendennis Headland, and then I went over to Tresca Bay, and I'm now here at Falmouth Cycle. So I'm going to pick this up in about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes probably, when I've gone through riding and talking about all the other stuff. And yeah, thank you to everyone who's watched the videos and subscribed and liked and all those lovely things. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please do go and hit that subscribe button. It means so much to me and any other creators where you watch their videos and stuff, and people who put effort into making things. Reward them in the kindest and easiest way that you can by pressing the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot. Okay, I'm gonna give you back to me from a couple of weeks ago, and I'm gonna get on the bike now and film some more stuff, so there's something at the end of this video. Thanks very much, enjoy. So after just having a few hops on some of these walls around here and stuff, first thing I've noticed is like just how tight the bike is. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like all the I mean, obviously like components and stuff, that's down to how you set it up, but like the geometry and everything, it just feels like it's going in the right direction, especially like pedaling to back and stuff like that. It just all feels really nice. Yeah, it definitely, I can feel the weight difference between that and the Clean. Like, it definitely feels a bit heavier, but it doesn't yet feel like that's holding me back. And that is an obvious kind of question for a lot of people. Like, when you look at the last World Championships in the 26, everyone was riding a Clean or a Crewkerz, but I think more of them were riding Crewkerz than Cleans, which says weight isn't as important to people as maybe feel or geometry is more important. So I don't know, but yeah, I've tried it out on some of the streety stuff here. It's quite nice, not the biggest of walls, but you know, it's all good and stuff. I'm going to go up to the point now and have a go on some natural stuff up there and see how it rolls with that, and go from there. Okay, this is legit getting stupid now because it's honestly, it's so dark. On the camera, it actually looks like you can see quite clearly. Honestly, I can't describe this. I can't see those rocks. If I look over at them now, it looks like they just blend in with the grass. So I'm literally struggling to see. It's quite a pretty shot of Falmouth down there, which is quite nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go into town, see if I can find anything else. If not, I will go for another ride at some point, either tomorrow or Thursday, and we'll cut to that now. And we're back. So this is a completely different day. I'm wearing different clothes and everything, but we are in one of Falmouth's little unknown streety spots. There's just some nice gaps and things here. You'd have seen these in videos before, I'm sure, definitely in like the giant video, I think. Unfortunately, there's a great big skip over there, which is where some of the really good riding is, but I'm still gonna have a hop around on some of this stuff here and then maybe head over to Falmouth Cycles and have a little ride around over there. Yeah, got the bike with me, gonna see if I can do some of the more streety kind of stuff and see how this goes. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about just the bike itself. As I said earlier, it's admirable, like just how stiff and how firm the whole thing feels. It feels really ready to go. It rolls really nicely over things. Honestly, it weirdly feels stiffer than the Clean, I think, which is amazing considering, you know, carbon is obviously supposed to be this really stiff stuff. But yeah, it's a really amazingly designed bike, and it feels really, really nice for me. A few things that I've changed from what sort of came spec'd on it. The grips here, these were basically tri-light kind of rim tape kind of grips and stuff, and I've changed them for sort of the Ritchie ones. I've got quite big fat hands apparently, so yeah, it's important for me to have sort of slightly bigger grip on stuff, which is really nice for me. I've also, if you can see here, I've put a little bit of tape on the end of these bars just so I can get grip on the old fingies when they're a bit slippery and stuff. Other than that, I've got this lovely carbon down tube protector from Alex Dark. This was actually one that he made for his Crewkerz Jealousy, and when he stopped riding that, he gave this one to me. Well, I say he gave it to me, he left it in my van and I basically took it from there. But otherwise, I think the bike is completely as it was when I picked it up secondhand from the guy that I bought it from. It's, yeah, so far done so good. I have had one puncture on the rear tyre. I'm not sure if that's because I'm just a terrible rider and it was on a really twisty kind of thing. But otherwise, yeah, the bike is just, it works really good. I can side hop it pretty much as high as I could side hop my Clean. I can gap it as far, and I think it actually has made me a bit more confident in terms of, like, especially things like rolling up to front and stuff, which I was, you know, okay at, but this definitely, it feels just a bit more aggressive over the front wheel, which is really nice. I don't know if I'm really enjoying this bike more because it's just a different bike and I've been riding the Clean for a while and it's just really nice to have a change. But I mean, and this isn't that much of a change, to be honest. I mean, this is literally, you can see the geometry written on the inside of here, but it's 1085, which means it's 5mm shorter than the Clean was, and most of the rest of the geometry is, I think, the same. I will check it out and see if I can get some specs up on the screen of the two bikes so you can see what each of them are. But yeah, it's genuinely really nice. But yeah, I've had a nice hop around here with the bike so far this evening. The sun is just about going down somewhere though, so I'm going to try and see if I can find one more place to ride for tonight, and I think that might be the end of the video. Okay, so now I'm here at the wonderful Falmouth Cycles. This is probably the best bike shop in town, really, and they've also got some quite cool walls out here and stuff, which hopefully they're not going to mind me riding on too much. So I'm going to have a hop on these, see what I can do. The last time I rode on these walls was when I actually very first built up the Giant, which was back in like March or February sometime, I think. So I haven't ridden here since then. So it'd be interesting to see the things that I can do on this much more recent trials bike than I could do on the Giant. I'm expecting the Crewkerz to perform a bit better, but we'll see. I'll just turn the camera around and do some riding and shut up. So I do seem to be able to be more accurate with it, like with those side hops onto that wall. I wasn't staying on the wall perfectly. The second time I did really well, but the first time I thought I'd get one wheel over it and one wheel on it, but actually the bike, it's got a real kind of feeling of like being able to, you know, where you visualize that's where the bike's going to go. The clean was really good for that kind of thing. I know it sounds silly, but like, I mean, when I was riding the Giant, for example, which had like, I don't know, 390mm chainstays and stuff, you had to do a lot of guesswork to figure out where the back wheel was. But here, it's right underneath you, and you can really feel like, you know, the sense almost like directly between like your hip and your rear axle is kind of like, you know where it's going to go. And I think that's kind of down to the geometry, which is really fantastic on this bike. I do really like it. I couldn't get that up to front. I tried it here. I'm not very good at rolling up to fronts like that. I'm better at the one bouncing up ones, but that's what I need to practice more of those ones. But as you can see, it's quite a narrow wall, and it's also it's so hard to tell on camera, but it's actually like, it's 8:05. It's really late at night now, and it's getting quite dark. So I'm going to see if there's a few more things I can ride on, and then that might be it for today. Boom! Okay, well that's it. I am done for now. Yeah, it's now pretty much almost completely dark. It's so weird on camera. It looks really bright, but here it's actually really dark and I can't really see much anymore. And I've got to go home and have some tea and do all those kinds of things. I absolutely love the Crewkerz Jealousy. It's an amazing bike. When I first got on it, I wasn't quite sure about it. It felt, there were things like the Carthy brake levers, I wasn't sure on them, and you know, the tyres were they feel like quite a higher profile, I think, because the rims are slightly different. I don't know. There were a lot of things that I wasn't sure about, but having had a chance to actually ride the bike for quite some time, I can kind of roll my first impressions and a good kind of month or two's worth of riding into this one video and say I really, really do like it. It is an amazing bike. They're not cheap. I think they come at about close to a £3,000 or euro price tag, so they are quite expensive. But if you are looking to get into trials, don't think you have to buy a bike like one of these. I mean, they are really great and they'll help you a lot along the way, but the cheap bike challenge is now on. So go and have a look at the other videos on my channel, and you find the one that says the most recent one about the cheap bike challenge, and there's me and my daughter talking to you about the cheap bike challenge, which we are organizing. It's on right now and it will be closed in the start of December. So basically you've got time now to go and buy a cheap bike, have a go at trials, make a little edit, and maybe even win some really cool prizes from some amazing sponsors that we've got on board as well. And And yeah, and if not, just keep an eye on this channel, because you're going to see some amazing people who have already messaged me. At the time of filming, the Cheap Bike Challenge has been live for like 24 hours, and I've just put the announcement out there to say to people, go make your videos and stuff. And quite a few people have already got in touch and said, oh yeah, I found a bike, I'm really keen to have a go at this. So there's going to be some really great stuff coming out. But that is not to say that spending a lot of money on an expensive bike like this isn't incredibly cool and doesn't make you a lot better at riding trials, because yeah, it is and it does. But cheap bikes are cool as well. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please go and subscribe, and I'll see you all next week for whatever I've got next. Thanks very much. Cheers, bye-bye.